Good evening, all of you. I hope you're all doing well. Today we are going to have a word building class. And yesterday, the day before yesterday, we had something called, the vocabulary class where I introduced you some very normal and very regularly used words. And I told you that, how you can make your own dictionary with those words and how you can, create your own world of words and how you need to connect with words to be able to use them regularly and how you should be always making how you should be always remembering them and using them in your reading skills or in your writing skills, and that's what makes it a beautiful journey with words. Now today I told you that we will be starting something new about Greek and Latin words. I'll teach you some root words. Being an English teacher also, it is equally difficult for me to remember all these words and to it's not that I have been memorizing all these words or something like that. It's mostly that you have been using this for 15 long years, so they become a part of my body. That's it. And but still, yet I have to keep repeating and I have to keep using those words in my regular I should be revisiting them every now and then. Otherwise, you know what, it becomes a it does not really work. I mean, you forget. Language is such a thing that if you don't use it, you tend to forget it. So you have to keep, either you have to engage yourself in reading texts that are this level where this kind of words are used, or you have to keep thinking, you do use these words in discussions, use these words in your speaking, use these words in your writing so that you don't forget them. If you don't use it, if you don't read them often, or if you don't, I know you are not a small baby like you are, but I'm not a small baby that, I would be going back and, uh, reading all that stuff. I mean, I won't be memorizing them. Yeah, once in a while I could just flip open, especially when I have a class like this to teach to. But otherwise, imagine me going to the dictionary and reading, it does not happen. So, what happens is, this is an excellent way. You just have to find your way of learning it. So, you know what? Even when I'm teaching, I gain a lot of knowledge. Suddenly, yesterday or somewhere, I was teaching this word, about root words, prefixes, where I was talking about deci, and suddenly I assimilated that decimeter. If it is 1/10 of a meter, decimate is basically lessen. So I find out a connection with words and sort of things. So for me it's an ongoing journey, and because I have to create an effective class, because I want to create an effective class, and I want to make your journey to with words and with English easier, I keep doing it. But for you, when you are just a visitor, I mean, you are just a guest user, you are not into it. I mean, leave about you using the language. Apart from that, you're not basically touchy. I mean, deep into it like me. So it's for you. It will be difficult. So I would suggest you that you just go about the words. As I said, find those connection with words. It is very important that you find your connection with words. If you don't find your connection with words, you would not be able to remember all the words, that is for sure. So you need to make your own connection. You need to understand which word fits for you, and which what is it that goes with your personality, with your kind of you know your kind of being, I mean. So you need to understand that. So let's start with Greek and word building activity today. Yesterday, day before yesterday, we did a session on. We just picked up random words, very simple words, and we created 5 sentences of synonyms and antonyms. But today it's going to be different. Let's see what's it. We are going to do something called Greek and Latin root words. What are Greek and Latin root words? It's very important to know what are Greek and Latin root words, because now when English, for this I have to tell you the story of English language, which I would love to tell you any which ways. For English is basically a language which is not a language in the first place. It was just a dialect. Dialect is England, were a piece, I mean, some islands which was always, at risk of being conquered by different, kingdoms and different people. It was by and large, invaded by countries, by Spanish, by Greeks, by Romans, by Vikings. I mean, Vikings were a regular threat. Yeah, that day I was about to tell you this word, but I just not the Vikings, you know. So French. So English is such a kind of a language which where you will find lots of connections with different countries, I mean, different languages. If you look at the dictionary now, you will see that, you will have Persian words, you will have Hindi words, and Sanskrit words, like mandir, guru, mantra, pandit, divan. They are all, basic words, Hindi words, Persian words, like divan is a Persian word. All these words you'll find in the English literate language, I mean, English dictionary. But by and large, in the beginning, most of the words come from Greek and Latin root words, because they are very ancient languages. For example, let's take an example of matter. Matter means mother in Latin, but you say mother in English, matter, mother. Now in Hindi or in Sanskrit you say mata. You see the difference. In the same way, you'll have words, father also the same way, pater, father, pita. You'll find differences. You'll find subtle differences, and but they mean the same thing. For example, center, kendra. So like this you will see a lots of differences in English and in Sanskrit, and you will find all these root words coming up from different languages, from Greek and Latin. Most of the words, most of the root words that you will see, that they are basically, why Greek and Latin? Because uh, they're basically very ancient languages, and any languages that, if you read the history of English languages, you will see Sanskrit and Greek and Latin, basically not even Greek, Latin are basically very ancient languages, and from these languages have come the other sets of languages. So that is the history of it. As we go by, we will get to know that once England was made a country, and they were divided into four parts. England was divided into four parts, and Northumbrian language, that is the English that we use now, is from Northumbrian, where the London is basically. So it's called the King's language also, and it's also called the London language, where they have picked up that language, that accent, and then they have neutralized it, and they made said this is what everybody is going to use. So that way, that's how English came into picture, whereas it was just an accent, nothing more than that, just an accent means that's a dialect. I mean, there's a main language, and for example, in Andhra Pradesh, in Telangana, we have different kinds of Telugu that we use. Somebody says Telangana Telugu, somebody says Hyderabadi Telugu, somebody says it is Pachi Telugu, Srikakulam Telugu. They are just different dialects of the same language. Or you talk about Hindi, in Madhya Pradesh they talk a very beautiful and soft and nice Hindi, whereas in Bihar they speak the same Hindi, but it's more crude, more gross. If you go to Lucknow, they speak that Nawabi style Hindi. So it's the same Hindi, but a mixture of here and there, and it changes. That's how it is, English is. So let's start. Let's see how we gather, and let's see how we can learn, make our language learning easier, especially word building easier, and we understand. That's our final final achievement that we have to do, is to understand how to build our words and how to keep growing the words. So let's go. Now, did you know Greek and Latin words form the basis or root for several languages in the English language? Indeed, we have borrowed from Greek, Latin, and almost every other classic or Romance language. Yes, English is basically a formulation of lots of languages, lots of words have come from every other place. Why is this important? Well, sometimes we come across words that not even context clues can help us define. So, mandir, how will you define mandir? If you don't know that mandir is basically not an English word, but it is basically an Indian word or a Hindi word or a whatever. Or divan, how will you divan? If I say if I divide it also, di would mean die, that means two, and van means van. Van does not have something that I can think of, so it is van, and van means a van, the van. Does not make sense. So that's why it is important that we know from where it has come, so that we understand that this is it, rather than going blindly into following and trying to find the meaning. It is better that we have an idea and how we strategically go and make them a part of our vocabulary. So now, why is this important? Well, sometimes we come across words that not even context clues can help us define. Divan. So, understanding the root of as many words as possible will help us decipher complex words that are unfamiliar to us. Yes, we are basically not native speakers of English, so our usage of language is limited to our environment, to our study and stuff like that. So, for us, learning the native language would be different because we are not native speakers of English. We are second language users of English. I mean, neither our father or our mother is basically an native speaker. So, they are native speaker. So, if they are not, then we are also not. So, we become second language users of language, and that's how we are going to see how this is going to help us understand the roots of as many words as possible, will help us decipher complex words that are unfamiliar to us. So, it will help us in better ways. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Let's start doing some Greek root words and let's see how they can help us. Now, word. We have taken this 4 words of Andaya and let's see how they can be. What's the meaning? Okay, so the meaning is this. And when the meaning is this, let's see what are the words that we can build with these meanings. Okay, now when I say dendr, that means a tree, and anything that has to do with dendron will become as a tree. So philodendron or a dendriform, they're all trees. I mean, derm is basically the skin. So dermatologist is a doctor who deals with skin. Dermatis is again a disease related to skin. So lubriderm is the name of a cream that is also for skin. So that's how we go on. If we say derma, derma means skin, and anything related to derma would mean anything that starts with the word derma would mean skin. Okay, so let's add some more words. So now what are we going to do? We are going to keep adding words. We are going to keep adding more words to this already. Now, when I thought dermatologist, I never thought that it came from derm or that means skin. Dermatology is the study of skin again. So that's how it goes. So let's keep adding words, and that will be fun. Now let's see words like dye. When dye says like in diameter, like in dilemma, like in division, like in divine, like in dichromatic, all these words, whenever you use this dilemma, you are in two forms. When you are in a division, you are dividing it into 2, or how many ever you are dividing it, or divided between them or among them. That means you are dividing it into 2, or how many ever. So that's how it is. And when you are saying let's keep adding more words like dia means through or across. So when I am saying diabetes, or when I am saying dialogue, Okay, dialogue is between two people. If I'm saying it's a monologue, that means mono is single, and whenever you have a single person, you have someone talking, person talking. But when you have two people, it is basically it's a dialogue. It's a division. Okay, now you have anything that to do with dyne, that is power, that is energy, you will say dynasty. Dynamite, again that's a power, that's an m is to e is equal to mc square. Dynamo, dynamic, powerful person. Okay, okay, keep adding words that you will know. Let's keep adding words. Diameter, dermatology, add something with dendry. Okay, you have 3 more minutes time so that you can add more words. I will also keep helping you. Meanwhile, just think about it and keep adding. Now, whenever we have something called dendry, we can always say dendrophile. Now, whenever you have a word who is a dendrophile is a person who loves trees. Dendrophile is basically a person who loves trees. Person who loves forest, who loves trees, who loves nature, he is dendrophile. Keep adding more words. Now, if a dendrophile means somebody who loves trees, now dendrophilia means a person who loves trees to an extent where he feels sexually aroused by trees. Understand, if dendrophile means a person who loves trees, dendrophilia means a person who is sexually aroused by trees. I don't know. Let's go to the next word, derm. Prefix derm, which means skin. So anything that would start with derm would mean skin. Now, a dermatologist is a doctor of skin. Dermatitis is basically inflammation of the skin. Dermatology is the study of skin. Now, dermatosis is basically a skin disease. Dermatosis is something, a skin disease. Dermoid is basically related to skin. Now let's go to the next one, dye. Dye, which means dilemma. Dial as in division. Dye as in dichromatic. Chromatic is color. Chromo is color. Come on, let's add more words. Let's add more words. Now again when I say die, divorce also comes into die, that is two people separating. Divide as in you divide your property, so division is a part of divide. If divide is a verb, division is a noun. Divulsion means into indulging into different kinds of thoughts. Come on, keep adding more words. Now let's go to the next word. So let me write these words that I've discussed it with you. Let's go to the next word. Dia is basically through or across. Now when I say dialogue, it's between two people. If I say it's a monologue, that means only one person is talking. And if it is a dialogue, that means, now when I say diameter, now the diameter of an angle, of a circle, of a square, I mean whatever you want to talk about, of a circle, actually diameter of a circle. Keep adding new words. Let's go to the next word. Keep adding more words. These are the words that I get to, I remember the moment I get this to see these words. Okay, so let's add more words. Let's see how we can start. Now you can take down the words. I have also uploaded some more words day before yesterday after this Monday class was over. You could keep adding synonyms and antonyms. If you have a doubt, you could just ask me, post it out on the website, and I'll be there to help you out. Now next, go to the next slide. Let's see more root words, Greek root words. Now this comes with dis, endo, ep, erg, ethno. Let's see what are the words that come with it. When I say dis, as in dyslexia, it's abnormal, it's bad. Endo is within, ep is on or upon, erg is basically a work, and ethno means race or people. Let's see what are the words that we can see. Dyslexia, yes, dyslexia is something where you see the 6 Most of the birds, you see them as nines and they're flying and stuff like that. You are not basically able to concentrate. There are a lot of dyslexic. Einstein was a dyslexic. Einstein was dyslexic. He never wanted to read and do, that's the reason, but he was an avid thinker. That's how he became what he is. They have problem in concentrating and they have problem in writing it down. They are never organized, but they are very talented in sense of they have a really beautiful imaginative mind and they can really do wonders. So let's keep adding words now. You'll find a lot of words that start with di. You call it as difunctional. When you say difunctional, it is an abnormal or impaired functioning of a bodily system. That is called dysfunctional. You say diarrhea, which means again that your stomach is not working well. Let's go to the next word, endo. Endo as in within. Endo as in endorsement. Endorsement is you are basically the authoritarian who is endorsing it. You have in endocrinology the branch of medicine that deals with the diagnosis and treatment of diseases and disorders of the endocrine glands. Endocrine is the system within the body. Let's go to the next word. I have used word like endogamy and endotherm. Understand the meaning of endogamy. Let's go to the next word, ep, as in epidemic or epilogue. Epidemic is something that is within a community. Now as pandemic is pan. Pan is all over. You can see pandemic everywhere across the globe. But when it comes to epidemic means it's widespread again but within a community. It has not gone outside the community. Epilogue is also within. Now you always see epilogue at the end of a book. It serves as an comment or basically a small part of story which epilogue has. Erg means work. Ergonomics is the work, the statistics of work. Now, statistics of work in what region? The study of people's efficiency in their working environment. Ergonomics is basically the statistics of the work, or it's a study of people's efficiency in the working environment. Now when I talk about ethno means race or people, ethnic, ethnology, the study of race or thing, ethical, ethnicity. These are the words that come. Let's start working on some Latin words. Now we have had a lot of Greek words. Let's see some Latin words. Now whenever you see this word scalp or canned, candle is glowing or iridescent, and now that's how the candle came. Sept or sieve means take hold, deceive, receive. Carn, carnivorous. Now calcium is needed for the body, for the bones to work. Calcification. Now here in canned you have words like glowing and iridescent. Now you have a word called candle, as I have said it before, incandescent. Now you have word called incandescent, and candescent always means, candescent means true or frank, or clandestine is also one more word that we use, which means clear, perfect. Sept, receive, perceive, conceive, intercept. These all words means take hold. Okay. Now next is carnal. Carnal is more flesh needs, carnal desires. We also have words like carnivorous. Carnivore. Then we have something called cess or cess, which means to recede, access is to go and yield. Deceit. Okay? Keep adding more words. I helped you in the first slide to add how to add words. I think you should keep adding more words. Come on, let's start. Let's go on. You have lot of words that will start with calc, that means resembles a stone. Now there's something called calcification. Calcification is to make or become stony or chalky. To make or become inflexible and unchanging, calcification is also that. Calcify is to convert or to be converted into lime. Again, that's a limestone. Or to harden or become hardened by something. Calcify also means to become or become bony, hardened by the deposit of calcium salts. Let's go to the next one. Now we have something called with cand. Now when it comes to candle, it means it's glowing. We have lot of words with candle holder, candle light dinner or candle light or candlestick or stuff like that. That is not we are looking at. There is something called candescence. Candescence is basically the state of being white hot. You also have a word called candidate. Now when I say incandescent, that means something that cannot be. Rare, glowing or starting to glow with heat is incandescent, and if I am saying incandescent, that means something that cannot glow. Keep adding words, guys. The next one is carn. I have already added some words like carnal, incarnate. Incarnate is something that is born in flesh. Incarnation. Carnivorous is somebody who eats flesh. You have something called recede, you have something called access, you can also say recess is again okay. You can keep adding words like this. You know, you'll understand the meaning of it becomes easier and it becomes all the more interesting. Let's go to the next slide. Now, whenever I say a word with celer, that is means fast. If I say cent, it is 100. Celibracy or cerebral or cerib comes with brain. Cert means sure, as in concert. Side or size means or cut or kill. Let's see what are the words that can come out of this. Celer is fast and words like accelerate or decelerate comes out of it. Accelerate is faster, being faster, decelerate is being slower. Because here we are using a word DE, it becomes difficult, it becomes the opposite. Accelerate means acceleration or gaining speed. When you go on a bike, you accelerate, you have an accelerator, that is what it is. You raise the speed. Decelerate is calming down. Now when I say, now DE is basically a prefix used to make that fast into slow is decelerate. Next comes cent, as in century, as in centennial. Centennial is 100 years thing, century is 100 years. Then comes cerebral, cerebrospinal. So these are all words that comes with basically related to brain. You have something called cert. With that you have words like ascertain, certain. Ascertain is to ascertain the facts, is to be sure of the facts. Certain is I am sure of the facts. In the same way, side or size means to kill or cut. Genocide, homicide, you have so many, suicide, infanticide. These are all killing of the baby. Female infanticide is to killing the baby in the womb. Suicide is killing oneself. Homicide is killing one another. Okay? You have different kinds of sides that you use. Incisor. Incisor is you try to cut yourself, that is incisor. Okay, these are all the words. I have not at all added any words here, mind you. The reason being that you have to understand that how are you going to dig out words. Think. The first thing is you are supposed to be thinking of some of the words that you already know, some of the words that you have already used It's very important that you should be thinking those words. And then you ponder about it, and then you understand that there is so many things that you have been using since the beginning without knowing that what it was. Okay, now this is one way of adding. Today I have used words with C and D or E, but in the next class I'll start with A. I will keep juggling between different letters so that it does not become a this was difficult. Yes, this was difficult, but next class when we do about the vocabulary, about the root words, we'll start with A. So, and then we'll start with, different words we'll take as we go along, so that you understand what you have done and how you use the words or how you go about it. You will understand it. Okay, that was so nice of you. Thank you so much. I hope this session was informative. You can look into the website, and you can have a lot of material there. You can start working on it. If you have any problem, you just have to ask a doubt. There's something called Ask a Doubt. I will definitely get back to you within 12 or 24 hours, within 12 hours, definitely for sure. So please don't wait and start working on it and start building your vocabulary. This is a lifetime thing that you're going to do. You're going to, this, building of words will be with you until the last day of your life if you do it properly and if you do it strategically and you take a step-by-step approach. We have already discussed the step-by-step approach, and definitely you're going to rock it. Okay, thank you so much. It was nice being with you. Thank you. I enjoyed this session. Hope you did too. Thank you.